evening and welcome to Zayed Sports City for the final match of the day in the football 11-a-side unified competition. It's Denmark against the United States of America. Both teams suffered contrasting fortunes in their opening games. Denmark kicked off with a very impressive 8-1 success over India in their first match. USA, meanwhile, were edged out by 3-2 against Kenya in their Group C opener. So the pressure on the States to get some points on the board. Very healthy crowd here to cheer on their respective nations. Denmark were sent a special message by a footballing star from their country in Christian Eriksen, who urged them to do their nation proud. Well, we've already seen plenty of goals here on the 11-a-side football competition pitch. 14 unified sides are playing in the World Games 11-a-side competition. They're spread over 4 pools here at Zayed Sports City, with the final due to take place on Wednesday. And since making its debut at the World Games in 1986, football has become one of the largest sports on the programme, featuring traditional and unified teams across the 11-a-side, 7-a-side and futsal competitions. Well, the weather hasn't been ideal, perhaps not what you'd associate with Abu Dhabi. It's been raining on and off pretty much all day. It's not too cold, but conditions have played a part in proceedings in some of the earlier encounters. Number 7 there for Denmark, Stefan Eriksen, and Samuel Stickney, the United States of America captain. So confirmation of the names and numbers. Substitutes have been used to good effect by all nations that we've seen compete so far. So expect plenty of chopping and changing as the game goes on.
Number 13, Jesus Perez. Number 11, Zach Provost. Number 12, Ryan Prim. Number 18, Samuel Stickney. And number 15, Michael Zubik.
So then, the final match of the day here under the lights at Zayed Sports City. It's a USA side looking to bounce back against the Denmark team, full of goals in their opening game against India. USA will get us underway in the blue shirts, blue shorts and blue socks. Denmark all in red. So the stage is set. USA in need of the points. Saw Kenya make it 2 wins from 2 earlier with a 3-0 success over India. Here comes the countdown then.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Off we go then. Denmark, very impressive in their opening game. An 8-1 success over India. The USA edged out by 3-2 against Kenya in their opening Group C match on Wednesday. They have had a day's less rest in Denmark, with the Danes cantering to that fine victory over India on Tuesday. Chase on for Christian Beek. Stefan Eriksson is the 20-year-old captain of the Danish side. Towards Dayton Larsen. They had plenty of power through the centre, do the Danes. Opportunity for a shy goal early on. The deflection made it tricky. It's a decent save from the keeper. Ball wide to Magnus Nielsen, the 17-year-old having a shy, and well, credit to Ian Hartford for the way that he got across to make a fairly calm gather. First shot in anger comes from the Danes. Clip forwards by Julio Abad. And the flag is up for offside. Should be a keeper's ball, though the wind made it tricky. Well judged by Ian Hartford. Hartford sends it long. Well met at the back, though, by Christian Holm. And the whistle goes again. This time it's a free kick for the United States. And Joel Granados is in a spot of bother here, the 17-year-old. It's two very young sides. Plenty of teenagers and early 20-somethings in both lineups. Well, he just took one in the ribs there. I don't think there was any malice in it. But that doesn't lessen the pain that he's feeling. Good to see that he's back on his feet. So this is taking place on the football pitches here at Zayed Sports City. Last night's opening ceremony took place just a short walk from here, and it really was a spectacular and inspiring sight. This was a pretty decent sight of goal for the Danes early on as well. It's well hit back across the face of goal by Magnus Nielsen, and well gathered by Ian Hartford. Julio Abad takes the free kick, but not the best delivery. Bit of a loose touch further forwards by Nicky Back. Michael Zunik. Andreas Nielsen's kept it in well. Magnus Nielsen. Plenty of American defenders back there that should be able to deal with the danger. And in the end, it is a Denmark throw. Well, they were very much on the front foot in that game against India, where the Danes, I was here for that real power and pace. And the set piece is a real weapon for them as well. It's another shy from distance, and again got another slight deflection on it. And again, it's well dealt with by Ian Hartford in the United States of America goal. Evan Kapetinsky. Taken by Julio Abad. And it comes all the way through to the Danish number one, Sebastian Svensson, 19-year-old goalkeeper. Good to see that both goalkeepers wearing the traditional number one. Well, no way through there for the run of Christian Beek, but it will be a Danish throw. Already seen some star names in and around the area today, because as well as competing in their events, Special Olympics athletes will also have the chance to show off their sporting skills alongside a number of star names as part of a series of unified sports experiences. And here today at Zayed Sports City, Didier Drogba was in attendance along with the Brazilian World Cup winners Romario and Cafu as well. Didier Drogba actually did the coin toss before one of the earlier matches here between Kenya and India. Julio Abad. USA yet to really get going. Picked up in the heart of midfield by Christian Bank, who's seen a lot of the ball early on, and the ball is put out by Zach Prenovost for a Denmark throw. Well, at the moment, it's the Danish supporters making most of the noise, and they have gained a few yards. The ball's put out by Samuel Stickney, the United States of America skipper. Looks like it might be a long one from Christian Bank. Well, he got plenty of height on it, not a great deal distance, and there was a bit of a clash of heads in there as well. Play is going on. Denmark still have a man down, and Julio Abad is telling the referee to halt proceedings, which he now does. Well, he went down immediately, Stefan Eriksson. Both players had their eyes on the ball. Short throw to Christian Bank. And it's corner. And the United States of America need to beware here, because Denmark are very handy in the air. India really struggled in that department when they were thumped 8-1. What have they got from this set piece? 7 in and around the area. Delivery not ideal. There's a foul in there though, which will relieve the pressure for the USA. Long it goes from Ian Hartford. Again, the USA not picking up the first ball. Say that Denmark have settled the better of the two sides, and Braden Kelly sends that one out for a Danish throw. Jonas Roda with the throw. Picked up by Jonas Roda again. Nice turn from Dominguez. Abad. And Stickney caught in possession, could be trouble here. Sent wide by Nielsen. That's a nice turn from Quistgaard. Decent ball as well. Still alive. And Eriksson's effort comes to nothing. Does drop for the first time, hit, and Jonas Roda decided to go for glory, but was a fair distance away from finding it. Still though, keeps the momentum going for the Danes. He's been the busier of the two goalkeepers thus far. Hartford sends it clear. Chase is on for Larsson, but it's a chase he won't win. Out from Lucas Conradi. That's ambitious, but foul throw is the award for raising feet off the floor. Here come the Danes on the attack again, and Stefan Eriksson sized down. Another set-piece opportunity then. Out for another Danish throw. Well, the Special Olympics Unified Sports is a special inclusive sports program that combines an approximately equal number of Special Olympics athletes with partners on teams for training and competition, and the 11-a-side men's competition here is a unified event. It's served up some very entertaining encounters so far, which have been well supported as well, despite some inclement conditions. Opens up for the shot perhaps from Holm, gathered by Ian Hartford, who's looked very assured between the sticks early on. Hartford away. Good anticipation from Conradi. Hacked clear by Roda. Granados loses out. Here's Eriksson. It's a good burst and a decent challenge back as well, as Magnus Nielsen tried to make some ground. He'll leave the throw here for Jonas Roda to take. Roda goes for the short one. Had to be careful with the challenge here. It's going to come out perhaps for the long-range hit. Flicked on. Chance for Iversen. What a save. What a superb save from Ian Hartford. Well, they were looking for the offside flag here. It quite correctly didn't go up, and the skipper, Stefan Eriksson, had the chance, which was snuffed out by one of the best saves you're likely to see today. Magnus Nielsen's corner, by contrast, is disappointing. Well, he'd already looked neat and tidy, but he's excelled himself there by keeping Stefan Eriksson at bay. The Danish captain must have thought that he was about to put his side in front. He slipped, recovered, got the effort on goal, and Hartford made himself big. But it's been all Denmark so far. Remember, they were 8-1 victors over India in their opening Group C encounter, the Danes. So they certainly know where the goal is. Forwards from Christian Bank. Well, nicely done that by Stefan Eriksson. And they were looking for the foul there, Denmark, which they're not going to get. And the counter now might be on for the United States. Should be easy enough for Roda to mop things up. Svensson only finds a blue shirt with his clearance, and almost worked out there for Dayton Larson. Had too many scares at the back, have Patrick Plug and co. Brian Prim with the throw for the USA. It's a hefty challenge that comes in from Christian Holm. Firm but fair in the eyes of the referee as we approach the halfway point in the first half. Braden Kelly. Oh, and well won by Kasper Quistgaard, but he'd actually impeded his man. Well, a quizzical look. Let's have another look at it. Yeah, just a nudge in the back and perhaps a handball as well. Well, it's been a full-blooded game in terms of challenges. Dominguez, Eriksson. Sunik will take the throw. Put up by Eriksson. Christian Beek Sent long by Pronovost, but too long for anyone in a blue shirt. Svensson forwards, met by Christian Pike. Now, again, for a Danish throw, the USA side yet to really click into gear, you'd say, although credit to Denmark for the pace at which they've started proceedings. Plenty of time for Patrick Ploeg. Ploeg long. Loose ball breaks the way of the Danes. Nicky back, sends it back. Ball bounces right onto my commentary position, so I'm going to throw the ball back. There you saw it. Doesn't happen very often. Covering now is made by Christian Holm. Roda forwards, and the chase on. Good defending, and Eriksson unable to make anything of it. And again, good distribution from the goalkeeper, Hartford. Nicky back. Nielsen, ambitious. Eriksson, that was very ambitious. Didn't get the contact he was hoping for. As I mentioned, it is two very young sides. Only a handful of players over the age of 21 in both parties. Holm, coolly done. And it's a Danish ball. Special Olympics World Games 2019 has made history by welcoming a record-breaking 200 nations. 195 are competing in the games and 5 are observing. Svensson. Looking for Eriksson, not quite finding him. Suddenly the USA fans start to find their voice. Too much on that. Svensson should be able to deal with it. He's going to have to come out of his area, though. And he's relieved to see it roll behind. Eriksson. So a heavy touch, which allowed the challenge to come absolutely snapping in from Zunic. And the USA starting to push a bit further up the pitch now, which is in turn seeing Denmark sit a bit deeper and is allowing the States to get a bit more possession. That said, they've got to be careful of the ball over the top. Too much on that one for Kasper Kvistgaard, though. Yet to fashion a chance, the United States. There's no chance there for Dayton Larson to get on the end of that pass. 10 minutes to go then until the interval. Just that one really clear-cut opportunity so far, which saw Stefan Eriksson brilliantly denied by Ian Hartford in the USA goal. It's a tidy piece of play from Patrick Ploeg. Nicky Back's looking for it, and Eriksson is looking for a free kick, but he's not going to get it because that was perfectly timed by Dominguez in the view of the referee. Out comes Svensson. Nielsen sends it on, and the chase is on here. Hartford's come and made a very competent gather. Exemplary game from the keeper so far, and a good bowl out as well to get things going. Prim. Now, Jonas Roeder is there, but may have run into a spot of bother. Just runs out after Granados got the touch. There are 14 unified sides playing in the World Games 11-a-side football competition, which is spread over 4 pools here at Zayed Sports City. The final due to take place on Wednesday. Both these teams will have designs on reaching that final. Eriksson, what a pass that is, and what good defending it is too from Brian Prim. Well, he had 2 Danish players around him. He wasn't to know that the offside flag was going to go up anyway. Great positional play here. Got himself goal side and then jockeyed at home. Well, Svensson's been a mere spectator so far. The 19-year-old goalkeeper. Svensson doesn't get the required distance on his clearance, and so Conradi has to smack it away. Picked up by Granados, given away as well by Granados. Oh, that's a risky pass. Nicky backs onto it, but back can't find a fellow red shirt. Svensson with a better clearance this time. Eriksson's waiting for it. Taken off his toes and brought forwards by Christian Beek instead. Here is Eriksson now. Free kick goes Denmark's way. And is this an opportunity for them to use that set-piece artillery that they have? Handball awarded against Dominguez. It's a deep one. And Nielsen settles for the throw. Magnus Nielsen, back, got the touch, flags up, and it will be a United States of America free kick. Well, no goals so far, but certainly it's those in red who have been on top. Quite clearly offside against Thomas Jensen, who was a real thorn in the side of India in that 8-1 success. Really gave them a torrid time. Holm with the header clear. Here's Nicky back on the chase, and Nicky back onto the loose ball. Back, opens up for the shot, and it's going to take something special to beat Ian Hartford from that kind of range today. And the keeper made little fuss of dealing with this effort from Nicky Back. Holm almost ducked under that one. Roeder. It's a good burst, this. Cloud still going. Now that's a foul. Ball goes wide anyway, but you can see that Stefan Eriksson had clearly nudged his man in the back here. Shoving over Zach Prevost. The referee wise to it. 5 minutes to go then in the first half. Keenly contested, no goals as yet. But there would have been, had it not been for that man's fantastic work to keep Eriksson out. Svensson across. Svensson again with a far from ideal clearance, and the United States perhaps with their first real chance of the game. Svensson out to deal with the danger, and it was a very good chance for the USA from out of nothing, but now at the other end defending to do. Well, it was Svensson's sloppy ball out, and Svensson who made amends by coming out quickly, but the US almost in again. Game getting really stretched now, and this will be a chance for both teams to just gather their breath after that glut of action. Well, Dayton Larson, how good a chance was this? Slipped through very well. He just tried to prod it past Svensson. You could see what he was aiming to do, but the keeper made himself a big enough obstacle to block the path. But despite having to soak up a lot of pressure in the first period, it could easily have been the USA who got their noses in front just before half-time. Yunus Roda's throw. Despite the lack of goals, it's been a very entertaining watch. Looked like a foul throw perhaps there, not seen that way by the referee. I have to say the wind is starting to get up a bit now, which could play a part in how the game pans out. Oh, well, how about that for a committed challenge? And quick to get up and shake hands as well, Zunic and Eriksson. No quarter given there. So a couple of minutes to go until the interval. Denmark having the better of the half, but the United States coming back into it and having a very good opportunity just a short while ago, and he did very well, having not been employed too much in the first period, to make the block. All the way back to Ian Hartford. Both goalkeepers making one tremendous save apiece. Well, they're looking for offside here, Denmark, and belatedly the flag does go up. Dayton Larson, the man in the offside position. Long it goes, and you can see what I mean about the wind just holding things up there. Back. Taken down neatly by Granados. Granados with an excellent challenge there. It's been a very intense game when it's come to tackles. Here's another one. That's a foul. Christian Pike is the man who's impeded his opponent with the elbow. Zunic going down. So final 30 seconds then of a keenly contested first half. And is there a chance for the States right on the stroke of half-time, where they're going to have a free kick in a very promising position? Granados, the 17-year-old, the man clipped here. And he got away, and it was a clumsy challenge on him. As we go into stoppage time at the end of the first half, is this a chance? Graydon Kelly is poised. Well, his body shape suggests it's going to be a cross rather than a shy goal from Braden Kelly here. Kelly does go for goal, and it's fairly comfortable for Svensson, and that does bring the first half to a close. Very good watch despite the lack of goals, a half where the two goalkeepers have been the stars of the show. Ian Hartford with a magnificent stop early on to keep Stefan Eriksson at bay, and then Svensson himself smothering the opportunity that presented itself to Dayton Larsen. At the break then, Denmark 0, United States of America 0. Both sets of players taking on some water. They've expended a lot of energy. It's been a good watch for the spectators here at Zayed Sports City. The tactical inquiries begin during the break. Certainly a half that the USA came into as it wore on.
Please welcome to the pitch.
So let's have a look back at the first half. With Denmark fresh from their 8-1 thumping of India in their first game. They started on the front foot, and Magnus Nielsen's effort got a touch on its way through, and that was the first of a number of saves from Ian Hartford in the United States goal. Another long-range effort came fizzing in from Jonas Roeder, that one a long way over the top, and while Hartford wasn't tested on that occasion, he would have plenty of work to do as the half wore on. This was the standout opportunity of the first period. Fell to the Danish captain, Stefan Eriksson, and he was denied by a top draw save from the United States of America goalkeeper. How about that for a close-range block? The men in red continued to ask the questions. Eriksson was just a bit too robust in his challenge there, which saw him concede a foul on Zach Prenevost. But the USA had a glorious opportunity of their own. Brian Prim's through ball, and Larsen couldn't quite get his way around Svensson, and the Danish goalkeeper did his job well, as he did here with the last piece of action of the first half to gather in the free kick from Braden Kelly. A very good watch despite the lack of goals. The half-time scoreline: Denmark 0, United States of America 0. So, at half-time, it is goalless, but both coaches will be pleased with what they've seen. Zayed Sports City, the venue for this one. And just down the road from here, there was the opening ceremony last night, which all of these athletes would have participated in. A spectacular and inspiring night, people of determination playing a leading role in the ceremony. Teams of athletes paraded into a really stirring reception from the 40,000 plus crowd at Zayed Sports City Stadium. They were serenaded as well by some star names. The world-famous DJ Paul Oakenfold was on hand to provide some music, while some stellar names from the music world delivered a great rendition of the official World Games anthem, right where I'm supposed to be for the very first time, and it's the anthem that's been played out before all of the matches here. Track put together by a number of widely acclaimed music stars and producers. And there was a special moment of reflection and remembrance that may have resonated just that bit more with the USA team, with a short film dedicated to the memory of the Special Olympics founder, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, who passed away 10 years ago. And this is a real celebration of her legacy as the fans get into the spirit of things here. Who will be dancing for joy come full time tonight. The USA in more need of the points than Denmark. The Danes looking the more likely based on the first half an hour of the match. In case you don't know too much about the Special Olympics World Games in Abu Dhabi, it is the largest sports and humanitarian event in the world in 2019. Over 7,500 athletes and 3,000 coaches representing 195 nations who are participating across 24 officially sanctioned Olympic-style sports in some real world-class venues throughout Abu Dhabi and Dubai. 9 venues in total, 7 in Abu Dhabi, 2 in Dubai. The football taking place here at Zayed Sports City, which, as I mentioned, hosted the opening ceremony last night. It'll also be the venue for the closing ceremony on the 21st of March too, with tennis and bowling, the other sports to be staged here. You probably see dotted around a number of volunteers as well. World Games in Abu Dhabi featuring the largest volunteer program to date in the Middle East and North Africa. More than 20,000 people have registered to give their time to the event, demonstrating a real unprecedented level of engagement with the principles of inclusion and strengthening the culture of volunteerism as well. So the final words of wisdom from the respective coaches being dispensed.
We'd like to thank our official sponsors.
Saw Zach Prevost have a very tidy game at the back for the United States. He was starting back for his high school soccer team during the state semi-finals, and this year he's setting his sights on college, where he hopes to continue playing at that level.
The Special Olympics World Games Abu Dhabi 2019 would like to
team
thank our
of
host
young
partners.
late teens and early 20-somethings bound together by a love of sport already. But they've been given a bit of a test by those players from Denmark in the first half. Magnus Nielsen, a threat with his ability with the long throw. Nielsen looks like he will retain his place as the second half gets underway. No changes from either coach so far. In the earlier games, coaches weren't shy at making alterations during the first half. Might see some watches on the players as well. Each of the participating athletes will have access to the use of a state-of-the-art smartwatch to use for the duration of the games, and at the end of the games all of them can take their smartwatch home with them as a thank you gift from Special Olympics World Games Abu Dhabi 2019. Just one of a number of schemes and events that are going on alongside the Olympics themselves. It's a cultural Olympiad, a variety of entertaining and educational activities and events that are helping to promote an inclusive society, which is a significant addition to the Games and features a series of non-sporting events aimed at trying to create some long-term positive change for people of determination, which is the term used in the United Arab Emirates for those with intellectual disabilities. So here we are then, set for the second half to get underway. Goalless at the interval. Denmark having the better of it, and Denmark who will get us underway in the second period. Off we go then. Goalless at the break. One really good chance apiece. As things stand, the USA will have a point to their name. Denmark will have 4. Oh, and nearly a slip from the new goalkeeper, who's been introduced at the break, Jeppe Jakobsen. On for Sebastian Svensson during the interval. A number of changes made by the Danish coaching team, but Eriksen still on the pitch. Eriksen arguably the star performer in the first half for the Danes. Here is one of the new additions, and there is a very committed clearance from Abad. It's going to be delay in play here while some treatment is administered. Matthias Stefansson is down. This is why. Just landed awkwardly after that sliding clearance from Abad. Another change, and it's made by the United States of America. Stickney is making way, and on in his place is Jesus Perez Tepole. Dominguez. Sunik. Nice pass. Over the top from Tepole, his first contribution since coming on. Now brought away by Eriksen. Dominguez in the right place for the United States as the rain just starts up again. It's been a real mixed day conditions-wise. Poked on here for Plough. Patrick Plough. Still going. Plough. Roda. And the hit is straight down the throat of Ian Hartford, who once again shows real competency between the sticks. No fuss with the save, but that was well hit. Had a faultless game so far. The 21-year-old USA #1. Hartford upfield. One thing that's in the favour of Denmark certainly is their height advantage. Not quite as noticeable today as it was against India, but still something that goes in their favour, as we saw from the first half with the amount of clearances they intercepted. Eriksen, can he keep it in? He can. He's onside as well, looking for support. That's not the greatest of clearances, and it Wasn't the best of hits from Thomas Jensen as well, who was a real menace against India. And this is where the USA have to be wary. Dead ball situations with the height that Denmark have. Stefansson over the corner. Up go the heads, and it's just over the top from Kasper Kvistgaard. Well, there was an example of their aerial threat. Clipped in towards Kvistgaard, who got the run on his man. Difficult chance, though, to get on target. Kvistgaard on the chase again. Now Denmark starting the second half strongly, just as they did in the first period. Decent ball, but good early shout from Hartford, and an equally good claim. There's good distance on that clearance too, and it's an awkward one. Larsson couldn't quite find a teammate. Eriksson unable to get there, forwards from Prevost. Dominguez almost through to Kaptinski. Here's back. Not seen too much of him in the second half, and he's given the ball away as well. Larsson. Well, that's an excellent challenge that comes flying in from Thomas Jensen, although it's left his opponent in a spot of bother. Granados is down. Well, he's certainly got the ball here. How much of Granados did he get as well? Yeah, it's an awkward one. Oh, good to see Granados on his feet. Thomas Jensen absolutely flying into the challenge. He was amongst the goals in that 8-1 victory over India, Thomas Jensen. Joel Granados, at 17 years of age, one of the youngest players in the tournament. He's the youngest member of the United States squad. Denmark have Andreas Nielsen amongst their numbers. He's only 16 years of age. Not moving too well. And he's going to come off as well with Ronnie Papke, the man due to come on for him, but they've got defending to do here. First of all, the United States, as Kvistgaard almost found a way through. Lovely pass from Jensen, and very assured defending too by the covering Brian Prim.
Hey, take 7, Brent.
Corner then. Decent delivery. Should be run clear. But Kelly couldn't get there in time. Oh, he was the meat in a USA sandwich there. It was the Danish defender Ploug. It's a great save from Hartford. Back to back. And another hit goalwards, and another very good save from Ian Hartford. Well, you get the feeling they're not going to find a way past him tonight. Cracking stuff from the keeper again. That's a really good low stop, and he beat it away to safety as well. It's not quite as testing, but he didn't catch it cleanly. There were plenty of Danish players lurking to tuck the rebound away. It's had a faultless game up until now. Changes coming thick and fast then. There is Ronnie Papke on, as expected, for Joel Granados. Looks as though Nicky Back has been withdrawn.
Leaving the field, number 4, Joel Granados, replaced by number 7, Ronnie Papke.
confirmation of that USA change.
Special Olympics Denmark.
The Danish alteration sees Nicky back withdrawn.
10, Nicky back was number 14, Rasmus Vemelund.
And Rasmus Vemelund on.
Up, get out! Go, Michael! Let's go, Michael!
Eriksson just let it run away from him. Didn't get enough distance on the clearance, Kaptinski. And Jensen giving chase to this one. Oh, was he nudged off it there? Well, he didn't make anything of it. Thomas Jensen there. I wonder if this was a slightly risky challenge. It was a bit of a risky clearance from Abad, that's for sure. Just have a look here. No, actually, nothing in it at all from Prenevost. Nothing made of it either by Thomas Jensen. So 20 minutes left to play. Denmark, who scored 8 against India, yet to find a way through against the States. Sunik's throw. Dominguez. Need to get him on the ball, really. A bit more, the USA. He's the man who looks the most likely to make things happen. Eriksson.
Get out there, no time.
And that's going to just drift behind. Another excellently timed challenge from Abad. And a double change afoot, in fact a triple change from the United States. Dominguez goes to give Braden Kelly a high five. He's one of those making way. Dominguez also heading off as well. We'll get confirmation of those changes for you now. Dominguez is replaced by Rafa Darude. Cruz is also on. And Nathaniel Nelson also introduced. Eriksson continuing to be a thorn in the side, but he's gone through the side of his man illegally there. Sunik quickly to his feet. No complaints, and rightly so. Hartford sent it upfield. Missed by everyone. And almost Fiskard getting hold of that. Eriksson, it looked like he was fouled, referee agrees. Again, it is another opportunity for Denmark to toss this one into the penalty area. Trying to go through the middle of Sunik and Kaptinski. Conradi over it. Lucas Conradi. Oh, it's a tricky one! Well dealt with by Hartford. That was a really, really nasty one for the goalkeeper to deal with. Didn't know whether to come or wait and whether anyone was going to get a touch on it. Kept his eyes on it the whole way through, though. Top goalkeeping, as has been the case throughout this game. Now then, good goalkeeping at the other end. Using his feet well there, Jakobsen. Game starting to burst into life. Nice bit of skill from Thomas Jensen. Still Jensen. Just ran out of room in the end. Keepers come for this. Once again, as we've grown accustomed to, expertly done by Hartford. Early through the centre. Ball's just held up in the wind, which could cause some problems. Larson. And a chance. Jakobsen out very well. Well, it's been an exemplary display by the USA goalkeeper, but the substitute Danish goalie did very well here. It was the substitute who was through on goal. Only been on the pitch a couple of minutes. Nathaniel Nelson could easily have put his side into the lead there, and it'll be Nelson who will take the resulting corner as well. It's a good delivery by Nelson, only half away. Denmark have it. But that's a loose pass from the boot of Lucas Conradi. Well, it's interesting that just as in the first half, Denmark started strongly, the United States of America came back into it and had opportunities towards the end. It's happening in the second half as well, as we go into the final quarter of an hour. Well, that's a clever turn. Good covering at the back, though, from Flavio Cruz, another of those who's only recently come on. Looks like it's going to be a long one then from Patrick Plug. Indeed it is. Look at the distance on that. Should be keeper's ball. And eventually is. Slightly risky distribution though. And Jensen! Not far away. Decided to go for it early. How far away was he? I don't know if Hartford knew it was going wide or had just given up on it. Well hit. And it is a million miles away. Long from Hartford. Eriksson. Just overran it, but it will be Danish throw and another chance for another long one. Gets it into a dangerous area and it drifts behind for a goal kick. Had a good game, Zunic. Very neat and tidy at right back. Zunic slightly caught out of position there, though. Cloud should get there. Turned into trouble. Dawood out for the throw. Long throw it is, and out for a Danish throw. Cloud will be the man to take it. Short into Stefansson. Stefansson opens up for him. Well, it did, but then he overran it. Flavio Cruz. Oh, the USA had 3-on-3 there for a minute. But Flavio Cruz just overhit it as he tried to pick out Nathaniel Nelson. Very good contest this has been, despite the lack of goals. No shortage of entertainment, no shortage of robust challenges, and that one just a bit too robust from Christian Holm. As blatant a shove as you're likely to see. Now then, in round the back there for a second was Dawood, and Dawood with a frustrated challenge, shall we say, that impedes Christian Holm. Jakobsen upfield. Dawood was waiting for it. Dawood goes down. quickly taken throw. Couldn't quite stretch enough, Patka there. Now then, Kvistgaard after it, making a nuisance of himself. Mopped up by Abad, but it is at the cost of a Denmark corner. As we head towards the final 10 minutes, still looking for the opening goal of the game. Oh, and one of the only times that the ball has slipped from the grasp of Ian Hartford, but he was fouled. Yeah, quite clearly. And the legal challenge by Thomas Jensen, no doubt about it. I was going to say, very often you see a ball slip from his grasp, and the one time it has done, he was fouled. It looked like they may have a couple of players offside there, and the flag does go up. Nathaniel Nelson just making his run a touch too early. Stefansson. Oh, now then, was that a foul? No. Vemmeland fairly challenged. They've switched off here, and Jensen is crowded out, so it will be another corner for Denmark. Five in the area to aim for. It's a low one, and it's still a chance here, but the effort from Magnus Nielsen is well off target. Denmark will be kicking themselves if they come out of this game without a victory. Certainly had the lion's share of chances. Sunik given to Plough. Eriksson forwards, too much on it for Jensen. Abad looking for the run of Kaptinski, but he's quick, not quite that quick though. Will be Zunik's throw. Kaptinski was loitering with intent. Tauga's just about avoided conceding the throw. Kvistgaard looking for it. Now then, Patka, not quite. Jensen, went for the early pass, but wise to the danger was Abad, who's been very neat and tidy throughout. Should be easy enough, and behind it goes. Well, both these teams involved in games laden with goals in their first Group C encounter. 5 in the USA's match with Kenya, 9 in Denmark's clash with India. None so far, with just a shade over 5 minutes of normal time to play. However, Jakobsen made a mess of that. Plough has to be careful, and does very well indeed. Picked up Eriksson, in fact. Sunik, well, at first glance, I thought it was a fair challenge. The referee has awarded the free kick. Eriksson, Nielsen, and still Magnus Nielsen taking on all comers. Denmark knocking at the door. Door that's slammed shut by Julio Abad. Abad with the throw. In the right place for Denmark was Rode. Nielsen. Zunic. Eriksson snapping around. Zunic there again. Abad onto it. Early upfield. There's no flag. In fact, there is. Well, it was late in going up. And you can see exactly what Nathaniel Nelson thinks of it. Well, he was just in the Danish half, so it is the right call. Eriksson, meanwhile, at the other end, can't keep it in. Well, he's frustrated with himself there, Stefan Eriksson. He was slipped in here by an excellent pass. That touch just a bit too heavy, though, and he was unable to cut it back to the waiting Kvistgaard, who was in a good position. Cramp for Rafa Dawood. But he's okay to continue. The game on a knife edge then, inside the final 5 minutes. Hartford upfield. It's a free kick for the USA. Quickly taken by Abad. One back by Denmark. We're on the move here, but that's easy for Ian Hartford. Flavio Cruz. Oh, and Cruz is in trouble here. He's not been on for too long, but he's feeling this one. Challenge came in from Vermelund, who was quick to help him up. No shot was the shout from the USA coaching staff. They managed to do that, and now the counter led by Dawood comes to nothing. Dawood with the challenge on Plaug, out for a throw. Zunic. Plaug in the right place for Denmark. Nielsen. Still Magnus Nielsen. And still did very well there, Magnus Nielsen. Vermelund's cross. Tough one for Thomas Jensen, too tough to get the effort on goal. Vermelund's delivery here was pretty handy, mind you. I don't think he should be too upset with his cross. Zunic. Almost in round the back. Zunic in a hurry to get the throw. Michael Zunic's throw. Dawood. No nonsense call out of play by Plaug, but Dawood's been penalised for his challenge on the full-back. Well, we're into the final 2 minutes of normal time. If there is going to be a winning goal, it is going to be late drama. Stefansson did just enough. Vermelund had his pocket picked. Here come the States. Nelson. Just brushed off it by Jonas Rode. With it infield and on the move now. Risky. But it's going to break the way of Kaptinski, who's lost out, all getting a bit stretched. as we enter the final minute. Jensen is fouled. One last chance for Denmark to get the ball into the penalty area.
Running, I need you running. 18.
Delivered by Conradi. Oof, and cluster of red shirts in there. The bounce went the States' way, and Hartford made the gather. Flavio Cruz now. Nice burst. Oh, but he's given the ball away. Could that be costly? It might be. Denmark with a chance here. It's Eriksson. Eriksson. Excellent defending.
Keep composed.
Well, the 60 minutes are up. How much additional time will there be?
Go up. Yeah.
Jensen was waiting. De Wood back defending. Jensen after it.
Help back up.
Vermeulen's deep cross. Hartford comes and gathers. And the referee says that will do. Well, it ends in a very honourable draw. That man, the major reason for it, with some tremendous saves. Ian Hartford really on his game tonight. Denmark may feel it was a missed opportunity given the amount of chances that they had, but I don't think either side could really complain with a point apiece at full time. A very watchable goalless draw then between the USA and Denmark. The full-time score from the final match in the 11-a-side today is USA 0, Denmark 0.
The team would like to thank all of its volunteers for their time and dedication towards making today's events and the games such a success. Without your hard work, these amazing games would not be possible.
Well, as darkness falls on Science Sports City, these two teams can reflect on what was a really hard-fought game. Very watchable, intriguing tactical battles as well. Denmark certainly had the power to hit with aerial balls, but the USA fought well, and that man in particular, a real man of the match performance from Ian Hartford to keep a number of efforts from the Danish side out. One save in particular will live long in the memory. Let's have a look back at the highlights then from this encounter between Denmark and the USA. The Danes, fresh from that 8-1 success over India, had a glorious chance when their skipper Stefan Eriksson was denied by the best of one of a number of top draw saves from Ian Hartford. Made himself big and just about sent the ball wide. There was a good opportunity for the States as well, and it was good goalkeeping at the other end from Sebastian Svensson, who came out really quickly to block off Dayton Larson after he was slipped in neatly by Brian Prim. Second half saw more of the same in terms of Danish chances, and Hartford's absolutely exemplary goalkeeping never looked likely to make an error as Denmark continued to knock at the door, and when he wasn't there, his defence was Brian Prim marshalling the USA backline very well indeed. Frustration grew for the Danes, who had so many near misses throughout the 60 minutes. Again, very competent goalkeeping from Hartford on a number of occasions. This, another good save from him. Tricky delivery into the box. Tough to know whether anyone's going to get a touch on it or not, but he watched it all the way through and earned his side what could be a very valuable point at the end of the group stage. Confirmation then of the final score. Denmark 0, USA 0.
You